Hello and welcome to Happy Placing with the Praise Word.
All right, we're back again, and this time around, we decided to go deep. Let me not say directly down memory lane, but remember some of the things that we also faced in the early stages of our marriage. Well, technically, we are still in an early stage.
Yes.
6th year of marriage, where we still have 60 years to be married. So, just 54 years to go.
Why are you counting it as if you don't want it to come? Oh, I love
Okay, let's just leave it a day at a time.
Yes.
All right. So, most of the time, people enter marriages with very unhealthy expectations. And I think it's one of the things that sets people up for failure. And in our own case too, if we did not identify them early, there were a number of rubbish, unhealthy expectations.
Honestly, the truth is that you wouldn't even know that you had these expectations.
Yes.
But I think it happened to us in retrospect. Yes.
True.
So for most of them, like, it was a retrospect. I was like, this one now, healthy. Why were we thinking that this is how it should be?
I remember one in particular where we had one very nonsense agreement saying this is a partnership.
Yeah.
So you will support me, I'll meet you, you'll meet me halfway, I'll meet you halfway. And we felt it made sense.
Yeah.
This is a partnership. You do your part, I'll do my part.
I'll do my part.
So we now drew up the rules. So because she had more difficulty, or maybe let me not say difficulty, it was a sensitive thing for her to be in the kitchen.
Difficulty.
Okay, difficulty.
I own it on my full chest.
She now said that whenever she's in the kitchen, she would just like me to be there too. But it was not just from the case of support. I remember one time we hosted people in our house, and then I was in the parlor gisting with them, and she was in the kitchen for just 5 minutes last, and she came out and said, "Babe, remember it's a partnership."
Yes.
Are you ashamed of yourself right now?
I am. I was so pleased. So these are just some expectations that you just have it in marriage, and you just realize that, okay, I'm expecting this from my partner, and that's because you really don't know any better.
You don't know,
right? And I mean, that's one of the reasons we're doing this video. Experience is not always the best teacher.
Yeah.
You can avoid some of those conflicts, those quarrels.
So we put it into some categories that we can remember, at least that we can relate with. And when it has to do with emotional expectation, I think one expectation that we both got into marriage with is the fact that, if this person loves me, they should read my mind. They should know what I'm going through. When my mood has changed in the house, they should pick it.
Yes.
If I'm looking discouraged and down, they should pick it.
That they should pick it.
And if they don't pick it, you start feeling more inside and be getting more angry. Maybe if your face they change, me, I feel you have food poisoning. I will just drive out, go buy Imodium.
You people should pick it small, eh?
Well, with growth, eventually.
You pick it,
yes. But one thing I realized, especially in our first year of marriage, was that when she would be in those spaces, I cannot guess what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm trusting that at least, the way AI learns, if you give me information today, it will enter my knowledge bank for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I will match these scenarios and know, okay, based on the current premise, this is how I should respond.
Yes.
So I can say that now I'm doing a very good job in picking how her moods are. And I would say she's also doing the same. If my mood switches, but the way we had to tackle this was talk. If you're going through something, talk.
Yeah.
It's a new marriage. It's a new person. I mean,
you're learning
living together
yes.
for the first time, learning each other. If something is wrong, talk
to your partner, communicate. I mean, share the feeling, right? Don't leave it up to the guessing game. It will only do more harm than good, really. Because one thing that can happen is that you become, maybe you let it slide. You were in a mood, your partner didn't react, and then you just took care of yourself, and then you let it slide, and you moved on. The truth is that you haven't really moved on because your partner didn't address that emotion.
And sometimes we always like to, especially us as Christians, you say, I dealt with it with the Holy Spirit. Because we are in love, we should not argue. I think the biggest reason the biggest, how will I put it? The biggest reason why you should argue is
It's
because
because you're in love.
because love presents you both with that vulnerability
Vulnerable,
to see
yes.
different viewpoints, different areas. And for me, it was a tough one because when we were dating, we had quite a seamless dating relationship.
Yes.
And I think it became a little bit anticlimactic when we got into marriage. And it's
And that
as if-
first day of marriage was just, oh my God,
yes,
what's
the
happening?
demands of marriage. Oh, this is what we should be doing now. Something happens. Oh, I'm not happy that you did this. I'm not like, this is too much pressure. I just want to be happy. But, again, talking.
Talk about it, right? You argue. The thing is that love demands a lot because there's a lot of expectations. So because of those expectations, arguments is inevitable. You would argue, you would talk it out, but then I don't know if you mentioned it before on this
I was
channel.
about to say, I think
Yes.
if it's what you want to say, loving confrontation.
Yes, loving
Yeah,
confrontation. That's
because
exactly what's up.
Argument does not mean dirty talk, does not mean fighting, does not mean
Yes.
swear words.
You must not raise your voices.
Raise your voice at
No,
each other.
no.
I think we've at least, so these are 6 years of marriage, and I can tell you that every confrontation or argument we've had has probably even had lower tones of voice
Yes.
than we're using now.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean the emotions are not deep. Does not mean the hurts are not there, but words spoken in anger, they pierce deep, and you
Yes.
can't take them back.
Yes.
So, you will argue, but
Mutual respect, civility, all that. You have to have all that.
And this is a charge to someone out there. Your marriage is not falling apart. I feel the sense to say it. The fact that you are arguing and you just feel like, is this the right person for me? I should be feeling bliss. It's an unhealthy expectation.
Yes.
Now, if you guys are going through this phase, learn each other. If you need to get counseling, get counseling. But know that, well, even if when you love each other, you must argue. Sometimes, you are going through a season when you're emotionally unavailable, and then you are expecting that's a tough time where you've not been kind to your partner, you've not been this, but they should just be there groveling at your feet.
Yes.
Maybe they won't say, are you okay? Are you fine? Are you this? Well, we all entered marriage with that.
Yes.
Because maybe I've had a bad day at work and I just feel that I'm distant emotionally, but why are you distant? Don't you know it's your emotions that I need in my emotions?
Exactly. I think there's something you always say, that the donkey something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah,
it.
what did I say?
You say it's right, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just say.
If every donkey thinks his load is the heaviest.
Exactly.
So sometimes when we're emotionally unavailable, chances are your partner is also emotionally unavailable. And the only way to become to bridge that gap is to make available those deep emotions together.
Yes.
And bring it to the front and let everybody
Talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sex, intimacy and physical sex.
Sex.
This is what I think. Those days before the wedding night, especially we as men, if you've been keeping yourself in a relationship, you're not telling us, I will finish you. And boost your brain. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I remember having this conversation with one very good friend of mine, and he said that he was telling his wife this very thing. The night to the wedding, say, I see, I'm going to finish you. Say, I'm a man up on never.
Hey.
He said, to God be the glory, that first wedding night, he could hear every tick of the clock. And it was not up to 60 ticks of the clock.
It's not over.
And his wife gave him grace that night. It's like, don't worry. If I became him crying, see, don't worry. So sometimes, the expectation that we'll get into marriage and sex will become, I think we said this in our last video, that to just become something else. Well, it's still a learning curve.
Yes. It's still a learning curve. You have to talk about it. You have to grow in it. And it's something that you keep learning and relearning and unlearning, really.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't stop at different phases, from pregnancy to relearning your wife's body or your spouse's body, emotions.
Sometimes removing some preconceived notions. Because I know that even me, I got into marriage with some unhealthy expectations from sex, and it was affecting my mind till we spoke about it. I just said, okay, you now realize, by the time you talk, it does two things. It either makes your partner embrace your viewpoint, or make you maybe the conversation, even as you are saying, is not say, when I say this thing is not the right expectation of life. So,
Yeah. And sex can be one of those very sensitive topics and matter, but I would advise you to have it, because to have a fully satisfying relationship,
yes, sex.
yes, it needs
sex
to be
is
right.
a big part of marriage. I can tell you many couples who are always fighting, as if they hate each other, don't like each other. Sex is not happening, because there's something about that thing that just makes intimacy and communication better. I don't know what God put in there. Another thing is the expectation that when I'm in the mood, she should be in the mood automatically. So maybe I've been coming home all in the day. I had a stressful day at work, and I'm just imagining when I go, she would just go into the shower. And then I'll just come and hug her.
First of all, I'll meet her by the door.
I'll just meet her by the door.
And then she'll just be looking like.
And then she will drag me by the tie.
Oh God.
And take me in.
Oh.
And then I just open the door and I see anticlimactic. Babe, how are you doing? I've been working. I have this document. Like,
her hair is all over the place.
No, she ought to be by the door.
She ought to be perfect.
She ought to be perfect. That was something that, come on, I dealt with that. And the balance to that was that we had to talk about it, and every day cannot be perfect.
Yes.
In fact, we even felt that it should always be spontaneous. But we've been married now, these are 60 of marriage, and we now realize that expecting spontaneous romantic moments in sex more often than not does not happen. It's like that thing where we say in the spiritual world, you move from from doing to feeling. So you stir yourself up. So in one of our last video, I think I said in passing that I set up candles in the room at all. We were having a tough period, and it's just as though we are not as intimate as we should be.
Yeah.
And we are looking at each other. We want to be with each other, but we're just tired. So it came to mind after we had a conversation, what if we just move things around? And so the fact that you have to schedule sex does not make it an unhealthy activity. The fact that you have to create the environment. So that's something we did. So we set it up. We put the...
It's even more beautiful, because the fact that you can be that intentional with your intimacy, even in the midst of how busy you get. We always say something, life will only get busier. Especially because you want to grow, you want to have children, you want to, have more... grow in your career and all of those things. Yes, more responsibilities will come. So life will always get busier. So it's just logic that you are intentional, just like the way you create structures in every other aspect of your life to balance.
There should be structure for
There should be structure for this, right?
And intentionality. So yes, it won't happen naturally. If you think it will always happen,
well, it can.
No, it does happen.
Yes, exactly.
There are days that you just see them and be like, seller. That's not for YouTube. Glory to God.
Hallelujah.
Maybe this is one of those moments.
Oh God, Jesus. Oh,
let's move on. All right. Time and availability. This one aspect.
This one.
Oh, yeah, you talk. They give my wife one nickname when we go. Ruth.
Abokoku. Well, women like me. Well, we have that expectation, howbeit healthy but unhealthy, that our husbands should just always be beside us.
Always be by your side.
Every second of the day.
What's more important in this life?
And
guess what? He should still be hardworking and making money.
Yes, he should be hardworking.
Somehow, by some algorithm.
He should just always be in front of me, holding me, hugging me, being available for me. And we should just be saying romantic things to each other all day.
Just in case that is what you are doing to your husband and you didn't know. That's unhealthy. Actually, let me just say
it's an unhealthy expectation because it is not realistic. I had to learn that, the hard way, and I'm even still learning increasingly, right? I think one thing that really taught me about this was when we moved to Lagos.
Yes.
I really had to detach, because before we moved to Lagos, you had a more flexible job. You're working remotely, and so I was getting more sucked into my unhealthy habits.
Sometimes I'm working on the computer and she knows I'm working and she just kicks something around. I just look and she just gets me like, why are you on that computer now? I like office, I'm not going to even lie.
Oh God.
I do the work in the office, then I'll look into your eyes from 5 p.m. I close work early. So it's priority, of course. I do that.
Yeah. We enjoy each other's company, but
Yes.
I mean, those are healthy boundaries you set within a marriage so that both of you can thrive too. So that one
People
person is
God
not
watches.
feeling
Yes.
overwhelmed, emotionally overwhelmed too, because it can be overwhelming to have that demand on the person.
On a human being.
Yes. So yeah.
Another one to balance it is also the fact that some people expect that. I've spoken to a lot of young men who get married and they are scheduled, they feel their wife should just always understand that they are busy. And you know, work has been busy. You know, my boss has traveled.
That's very good
In fact, I
balance.
could not take leave away.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm just grateful for this woman God has given me.
This supportive, loving
You see,
woman
this support, see,
that always
everything.
understands.
She doesn't always understand. I can tell you for free. It's unhealthy and it's toxic
Yeah.
to not prioritize your marriage.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that she understands, don't take her for granted. It's
Very
also
important.
part of you showing that you love your wife, that that you love her, balancing those aspects
Yes.
and putting her on top. There are things that I intentionally do sometimes. Like I say, I could be in a very busy day at work, and I will just elevate the day and tell my wife, to be so busy. I've been in a board meeting, and I just stepped out of this place to just give you a call. How are you doing? Or I stepped out to pick your call. Just like, okay.
Tell them what you call it. Tell them your hack.
I can't
You invented something called scoring points.
Okay, scoring points. You have to feel your wife's love back.
He will now shape narrative for me. Say, I was just in a busy meeting, but I saw your call, I stepped out.
No, I'm not lying.
Hey.
Just make it, increase the strength.
Me, I don't care whether I scoring points. See, you so sweet my heart. So I love it.
Yeah, so there's another thing, but I think we'll talk about this in our next video.
Okay.
That I think we might have spoken about it in our previous video. That busy seasons will not affect your communication or your intimacy. Some people don't realize that busy seasons call for unique ways to manage the relationship. But we'll just refer you to that video.
Just to add to that, the thing about busy seasons is that even when you think that you have gotten yourself on the right track in terms of your communication, in terms of how you relate to each other, you've settled everything, like you're in such a good place. When busy seasons come, they unsettle
Can
you.
even make you forget.
Yes, you forget, honestly. And you don't even know when you slide into that, because to you, you've organized your house.
Yes.
You have everything on track. And then this comes along and unintentionally, I think the point I'm trying to drive at is that watch out for it,
Yes.
right?
Don't
Pick it
think
up
you
when
have
it
it
comes.
figured
Don't
out.
think you have it figured out. Honestly, if not, it will just be a free fall.
Yes.
It may be a season to relearn, unlearn,
I
put
think
more
this even
structures
happened
in
to
place.
us maybe late last year.
Yes, last year.
That we just realized that slowly we've been drifting apart. We're busy, but in our head, of course, we know our
Yes.
marriage is a priority. Of
Yeah,
course,
of course.
We
In your
know.
head.
Of course.
We have to call each other to order. We have to
Yes.
talk. We have to plan. What can we do better? Like, what
Exactly.
decisions can we make? We had to revisit the drawing book, really.
Yes. So don't think that busy seasons will not impact on your home. Even when you've read all the books,
Yes.
it's unhealthy to think that you have it figured out.
Yes.
You can have so much knowledge and have zero impact in your marriage.
Yeah.
Conflict resolution. An unhealthy one is thinking that your way of resolving conflict is the perfect way.
The normal way.
It's the normal way.
In my house, we do usually just confront.
In our house, we just shout, we raise
just
our voice
shout.
on each other, and everybody trashes out.
Or we just sweep it under the rug.
Or we keep quiet, and then somebody notices it. Or we keep malice for 5 days. Then after 5 days, we ask, have you eaten?
See for toxic.
Yes. So learn the actual ways to resolve.
To communicate, yes.
Yes.
In a loving way.
Okay, just
What are the
general.
expectations?
Okay, which other one do you want to
What are
say?
the ones?
Well, another one is that when we think that we've married the love of our life, you just expect that life will be easy. Yes.
This one, I think I really dealt with this one because, dating, like you said, it was so seamless and it was so sweet and we're so in love. We're still so in love, right?
Well, it seemed like it.
But yeah, it
that
seemed like a
reality. We're
bubble.
waiting for reality to end.
I remember when we started reading more about marriage, we just realized that
It's a big
we
deal.
were going on a free fall. I don't know where we're headed, but you do intentional structures. Marriage is it's hard work, whether you married love of your life or not. So
Yes.
just have that expectation, have that realistic expectation.
Don't think that it's going to, when these are tough, when you have to confront each other. So there are some things that you don't want to even have that conversation. And you're asking yourself, why am I having this conversation? Or bringing up a matter over and over again. Because it's one thing I even forgot. Sometimes you think that when you speak about something once, it has settled the matter for life. But in marriage, you keep talking and like not nagging.
Yes.
But you keep talking about things. Things your partner will not get it right the first time, will not get it right the second time. Some things they will never get it right. But you will talk about it when you feel it.
Like your shoe around your house. Fine, you've been doing better.
Where's my shoe there?
You've been doing better.
But I'm still trying. Until him who is able to keep me from stumbling. Yeah. And this is the final one. Don't expect all the joys of life to come from your partner. It's an unhealthy expectation. So people get to marry to and they want marriage to be their nirvana. And like, oh, I finally have my own person. And you stress him. He's now a motivational speaker. She's now a therapist. Now bestie. Now friend. Now boss. That is a human being. He's not. If you are trying to make him El Shaddai, all sufficient, he shall die.
Nice one.
I stole that one from Apostle.
Fine.
But learn that even while you have your partner, and they should be the custodians of your most vulnerable and safest emotions. You also need beautiful aspects of your life.
Yes.
Building friendships, having a career. Stuffing your heart with the love of God.
Yes.
So you are full of purpose and
very important. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So these are have we exhausted all the expectations?
There's so much more to say. But, if you have specific questions, I think we would soon be putting together like where we'll invite some people physically, and we'll have some questions and answers which we can share at length and give more practical answers with our experience. So if you have questions like that, or if you would like that, let us know in the comments.
And drop all your questions, really. We also mentioned doing a live soon or something.
Yes.
So, or you can just drop your questions and we'll respond to them maybe in a video. Maybe.
Until next time.
See you.
And don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Bye-bye.